Alright, good morning YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Alex Benda and I'm going to plan a design with me. Again, sorry about the mess. We are going to be moving and eventually I will have my own rig and everything in my new office. That day is coming very soon. But in the meantime, you get to deal with this and my microphone quality and my not great lighting, but it's not too bad outside, so I kind of look good. I did shave today, so kind of cleaned up. But today we are going to be designing Tardis, or at least close. You can hear him. He's in the room with me. So every time he knows his name, so every time you say his name, he will respond. Right, Tardis? I have the coolest cat ever. So we're going to go ahead and start designing. I changed some of my setups in Illustrator, and I'm going to go over those first, and then we're going to get into designing. I have a lot of new tips and tricks that I've been learning that I'm really super excited to share with you guys. I'll try and keep it as short as I can, but knowing me, I tend to ramble. So, all right. So first thing you're going to notice is that my background's white. Everything is white. And the reason is I have two settings that are changed. One is hide art box, but now we need to show, or artboards. So this is my 10 by 10 inch that I historically worked with. Tardis is dying to get out of the room. He's trapped in here because Kayla's also filming, and he tends to play with her makeup when she's doing that stuff. So he might meow occasionally, but he is A-okay, I promise. So we have this bounding box. So this is my 10 by 10 inch box. What I really like about it is you can use all this space that before we were just using this little tiny box. Now all this space becomes part of your designing board. And I like that because sometimes you have a design and you're not in love with it, but there's something about it you like. You can just copy it and put it off to the side, and it still feels like you're working in that native space. So the second thing, obviously, is that now my background is white. Let's go ahead and hide the art let's hide the artboard. So that's that black line. That's what your file size is. And I'll show you how I change this background. So you're going to come in here, and you're going to go into Edit, Preferences, and go ahead and User Interface. And my user interface is medium dark. But normally, or at least the way it has been, is we have the canvas matching. Let me zoom out so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. So again, Edit, Preferences, User's Interface. So matching the user interface brightness means that your backboard and everything is going to adjust. I like medium dark. Not all the way dark. Medium dark. And I like my canvas color to be white. And so that's the new change, is by having canvas color white, it gives me, instead of this gray area around the edges, it gives me a white area to kind of spill out into. So now I have a huge designing space that I didn't have before. Yeah, that's the main change. The next big change is you've noticed that these probably have grown super easy. Normally they start in the small thumb view, so you can get tons of colors and lots of choices. But for me, I like them to be a little bigger. You can even go larger, and this is what I do a lot of the times when I'm working off of a color palette, because it makes it really easy to click and grab colors. But we're just going to leave it medium for now. So I'm going to start by just drawing a circle. And I've done that by holding L for the ellipse tool, and that's the shortcut. And holding shift will give me a perfect circle, but I actually don't want that for Tardis's head. We're going to go with a little wider face, like that. And I've already got gray selected, but if you didn't know how, you can just go in and select colors from the side once your object is selected. So I'm going with gray. Tardis is a gray tabby, aren't you? He is the coolest cat in the world. So now that we've got that, we obviously don't want him to have a, Hey Arnold kind of looking face. So we're going to take the direct select tool, which is A, and we're going to mess around with these points. So I want him to have a little triangular face. He's got a cute little jaw. Do you want to sit on my lap, bud? No? Yeah? What are you doing? You're sitting right here? He's we'll jump into the office. He's chilling out right here. Just like, it's my chair. What's up? Let's get back to designing. So we have his face. So we selected that bottom point and we drew down. And I'm using arrow keys to adjust. And Tardis just attacked my elbow. Uh, and now we're going to move the forehead down a little because those ears are going to come in. And this is going to help kind of add some shape to the head. And then obviously he's kind of looking a bit like an alien, so we're going to want to bring in the edges a little. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you are trying to get them to match exactly, just count how many clicks you're doing, or you can use the move tool. But I am actually trying to avoid being perfect, so that is why I do it manually this way. And I think that's pretty good. If you wanted to, you could even mess with these anchor points and shape the head up a little differently too, but I am totally fine with this. Totally good kitty cat. Nice solid head, not too perfect circle. So cool, let's start with the ears then. That's the next big thing. We're just going to take our pen tool. We're going to start probably where you think you should start one ear. So right about here. So we're going to start inside and we're going to come out. And we're just looking for the left side of that ear. I think that's good. So now, because the point's moving around like this, you see how, because I'm clicking and dragging, we're going to hold, click, drag. When you've got the left side, or your line set up, hold down the Alt button and it will break that point. And that lets you, if you let go of Alt, it will do what you just saw. It'll let it go. So we're going to break that point. Actually, we're going to want to fix, there we go, we'll break it. And then let go of your mouse while holding down Alt, and you've now broken the point. So when you come in with your next dot, it will give you a nice sharp point there. And we'll do that. And don't feel like it has to be perfect. You can always come back with the A tool and give it the right shape you want. Now see, I'm having an issue because this point is a sharp point and not a rounded point with this handle. I'm going to want to change that, and so I do that just by clicking on the point, and up here I can convert it to a corner point or a smooth point. We're going to do smooth, and that's going to give me these anchor points to go ahead and try and adjust from the other side like Adele does. We're going to stick with that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take this shape that we've made so lovingly and hold Alt and drag it down. And now we've duplicated it. We're going to select the lovely pink shade. And I'm just going to select with my V tool, not my white pointer, but my black pointer. And I'm going to shrink it down a little. And we're just going to put that right inside the ear. Hit Control, Shift, left bracket. It'll push it all the way to the back. And we're going to select the gray and do it again. So that way we've got the head in front, the ear, and then this. And that way these two shapes are almost identical because they are the same shape. It's just where you place them. And that gives us the inner ear. Now you can mess with the ear a little more. Maybe you want to change how it looks. So his ears maybe kind of are coned out a little that way. And so you can adjust it, but at least, you know, it's a quick way to do it. So I think that's pretty good. I don't like the color. Obviously, it's a little too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to select it, double click on it once it's selected, and you can pick a shade. This adjusts how much white is in the color. And then over here, you can obviously change color and add black. So if I go all the way to the tippy top, where we're basically at, that's the brightest version of that color. If you go to the top, it'll be the brightest color with no black and no white added, and as you go lower, it's darker shades. So we're going to go back. You just want to make it light. And there we go. I think we got a nice color there. We're going to Alt. Well, first we're going to group them. So highlight both, Control G. Now they're going to act as one item, which is really nice. And then you're going to hit Alt drag, and that's duplicating them. Transform, reflect. Bam. We now have two ears. You can either manually put them on here, so if you wanted to make one ear kind of look a little taller, like he's perked up or something, you could do that. For this one, I'm just going to have them be the same. So I'm going to highlight both objects. They're both grouped already. Obviously not together, but the pink and gray of each ear is grouped. We're going to vertical align, so what that's going to do is find the center point, match them up perfectly. It's a super useful tool. Now that we've got that we're going to hit Control G after we highlight both, and now they're both grouped together, so that pair of ears move together. We're going to highlight everything and align it center. And now I know my ears are perfectly aligned onto our head. And if I want to change things, I can later, but we're just going to keep trying to chug along here. Let's go ahead and give him some eyes. So I'm going to start with just a circle. And do that. We'll come in here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to highlight left and right. I'm going to hold shift and select the two edge points and bring it up. I know it looks crazy, but I have an idea, I promise. And now we're going to bring the bottom up and give us like a nice half crescent moon. And so I'm doing this to kind of give the top part of the eye a little bit of that, like, where he like looks down at you. I don't know. Those of you who don't own cats probably don't know what I'm talking about, but they always seem like they're staring at you for something. And another good thing is you can mess with your pupil size, you can mess with the angles, so now he looks sad. If you mess it now he looks angry. So downwards is, you can even bring this up a little if you wanted to make him look a little happy, which is what I think I'm going to do. Just like that point, lift it, but not too much. So he's not squinting his eyes, and now he's got this big bright eye. So not too bad. I like that. Yeah, you like it too, bud? Yeah. If you want, you don't have to go with the middle point being big and round. You could do something like this. And give him cat eyes. So let's see how that looks. There we go. So there we go. I like that. Maybe make it a little bigger. And we can adjust with that all later. So now I'm going to take both. I'm going to drag them over, right click, transform, reflect. Same thing I did with the ears. You can see a pattern starting to emerge. Control G, group them together, highlight everything, put them center. Now our eyes are perfectly centered on our kitty. So let's go ahead and give him a cute button nose. There we go. At this point we can go ahead and just center it if we wanted to again. Obviously we don't like black, so we're going to go with pink. Maybe even change the color. Nose is a little big, but that's because I have some plans for it. We're going to bring the top down. Because his nose comes down a little, we're going to want just a soft curve there where the shape kind of goes up, down, and up. And I think that gives it a cute shape. And then we can, if you wanted to give him a little more triangular nose, we can. But it's just moving these points on a circle. And I think, what do you think? Yeah. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. And holding down the shift key, we can adjust it. So there we go. It's coming along pretty nice. If you wanted to make the color lighter, you can. I think I will. So I want this to be super accurate as far as like the math goes and how it looks. So we're going to do something a little different than free drawing. We're going to come in and draw a circle. We're going to take the circle, we're going to alt drag it, move it over. I've got our two circles, we're going to highlight them. We're going to bring them in right here. Now if we wanted to, some people will show two circles and use that as like the lip of the cat. Yeah. But I think I'm going to skip that. I'm looking at Tardis right now trying to figure out how I should do it. But yeah, I think we'll skip doing that kind of bunny rabbit look. But anyways, what I wanted to show you is take your direct select tool now that you've got it, and you're going to cut these anchor points right here and right here. And you also, there is a cut tool. Where is she? There she is. Alright, she's up here. She's C for the scissors tool. And you can do that exact thing without having to click on that top part. You just come over and click on the anchor. And click on the anchor. And it automatically cuts it. So if you're going to try and cut a bunch of tools real quick, this is the great way to do it. I'm trying to get rid of this stupid little pop-up. There we go. Okay. So although it doesn't look like we did anything, we cut them in half. And now we have these two lips. So we're going to want to go ahead and highlight both and come in here. And we're going to right click and join them. And what that does is because they're touching right at this point, they're now one object. So when I go to adjust it, it's kind of like grouping, but obviously it's the same shape now. We can make it thicker. We want to make sure he's got rounded corners to his mouth. And we can take our pen tool, come in, join this path, and come straight up. Using the eyedropper tool now, which is I. Select this so we've got the same shape. And we want to bring this to the front. And now we've got ourselves a super cute little Tardis mouth going on. And as we're coming along, I'm starting to realize certain decisions we made earlier aren't exactly right. Like the eyes should come down, his nose, mouth, and these two should be grouped together. So I think that's a great starting point. If you wanted to, we could even give these back parts of the ears a little definition. Just make them a little darker. Alright, here's another trick I learned. Control Y. Control Y will give you the outlines, and it will show you what's behind and in front, and it won't fill it. And I only want these outlined here, so we're going to highlight and select them with our regular tool. And it will give you a little difference. Now if I hit Control Y, I've got that selected. It lets you it helps you when selecting things. So now you can see I've made the ears a little darker because he does have a little darker ears. He's got yellow eyes, but I don't think we need that. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do is give Tardis some lines on his head. We're going to do that by selecting the face, drawing inside, which is this command down here, and take your pen tool, line it right up, and draw a line. We're going to want to switch over to stroke, so I'm using X to switch between fill and stroke color. We want a darker shade. We're going to take this one, hold down Alt and Shift will let me move it at a 45-degree angle. Now I've got it here. Come over here. Now they're not perfectly centered, and so this is another great opportunity to use your distribute tool. And what that will do is it will evenly space them out, but it looks like we did a pretty good job at the beginning. And now I'm going to highlight everything, and we are going to center everything. Great. So now he's got these little marks on his head. Right, bud? Just so you guys are wondering, if you don't know who Tardis is, this is my giant cat. No, Dad! But he's been trying to crawl on my lap, so I'm just going to let him. So now we're going to take the same thing and do it from the sides. And I'm not trying to make... Well, I wonder if we should do Whiskers first. So go ahead and do Whiskers. So we'll take this pen tool, and by dragging and clicking I'm able to bend the line. You can see that we've got a fill on this shape, and we don't want that, so we're going to select the shape. Come over here, and you can just click this bar with the line through it, and that removes that. So I'm going to show you how to use the rotate tool, which is really, really useful. It's the same as the transform tool, so it's over here in this sidebar. And if you just hold down over the shape, this is something that I guess I should explain. If you just click and hold down, it will show you what is underneath that menu, and you can come over and select. So again, we're going to use the rotate tool. We don't want reflect. Reflect is a super useful tool, which we'll use in just a second. But hold down and go to rotate, which is R. And what you're going to be able to do is pick a point and then take the object you have selected. So first we're going to select this. Select the rotate tool. We're going to use the center of the nose as the point we're reflecting around, and you can just drag it, and we're going to hold Alt, and that is how we can do that. So there we go. Now we've got 3 whiskers. I'm going to move this one up a little. So yeah, we'll move this one down. Give them some whiskers. Now these are a little thick for my liking, so I'll bring them down. Around there seems good. Now here's where the transform tool is really cool. Where normally you can just highlight, right click, transform, reflect. I like using the reflect tool in this type of scenario because it's going to help us out. When we hit the center point, we can then take these objects, holding shift. What it will do is it will drag it around to the other side like that. Now if we do that exact same procedure, hold down Alt, we've now duplicated it, and if we wanted to do that, obviously opens us up to a lot of really cool things if we want to do duplications or reflections at different angles than just up, down, left, right. And I'm going to hold the Alt button, which will adjust both sides of what I've selected, and we can kind of bring in these whiskers so they're not too far out. And I'm not sure I love these whiskers, but again, it's more, I sit and tweak and tweak and tweak for hours after I do a design to get it exactly how I like it. But yeah, see, that's cute, but then it kind of looks like it doesn't fit the style. So yeah, I'm just trying to get you familiar with the tools, how to do some of these things, and then we can go back and always tweak and adjust until we get what we really like. Anytime I draw something from real life, I like to make sure that I get pretty close to what it looks like, so that's where I'm also probably the hardest person on me. But we're going to say that's as close as we're going to get to Tardis for now. I think, again, he's got a bit of a big chin, so let's bring that up. Maybe bring in the left and right a little. Yeah, you like that better? Yeah, he said yeah. I don't know if you guys could hear. Totally said yeah. Alright, so that's not, I prefer that face a little better, and that's the nice thing about Illustrators. You're always welcome to come back and work on stuff. Let's go ahead and give him a body. So we're going to draw a body. And the rest of it is basically the same stuff I showed you. I'll finish this video with a final product, but it's basically draw shape, highlight parts, move the dots up and down. So obviously I'm going to make them a little skinnier, so we're going to move these 2 points I've selected down. But yeah, guys, I'm going to let you go there. I showed you a couple useful tools that we've learned today. We've got the drawing circles. When I did the nose, we've adjusted them. Drawing inside, using the rotate tool, using the reflect tool. Making the mouth was really useful, using the 2 circles and learning how to combine and join those together to make a perfect shape. That's also super useful. And then tons of alignment tools and grouping. So I don't want to go too far and try and overwhelm you today, but without you realizing it, or if you did, that's all the stuff I just showed you how to do. Super useful, not to mention I showed you ways to adjust the user interface. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching these. If you like this, definitely like it here. If you want to see something specific, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I will be making more of these, and once we move to our new house, my goal is to make more videos, possibly get my own channel. So look out for that. I'm super excited because I'll probably getting my own microphone and a better camera, or I like the camera. I think the microphone could be used though. So thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, you guys want to say goodbye to Tardis? Tardis, come here. Come on. Come here, bud. Let the people see you. Oh, he's such a big. Look how big my cat is. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.